Hello everyone, welcome to SAP Technomaniac. In this video, we will learn about Common Table Expression CTE. In this video, we will see my example which I have created and some of the demo example as well. Let's get started. In my last video, we have discussed the window expression, as you remember. So in the window expression, what we were doing, we were displaying in the output the sales order number, customer number and amount. Along with that, we use the window function and window expression to display the total net amount for that particular customer and the number of sales order created for the particular customer. We have used window expression for that. You can see these are the two window expression we have used here. Let me show you result. What was the result for that? So you can see this is the result we are getting. We got in this result what we were doing. We were displaying all the sales order for particular customer. What was the net price? What is the currency? Along with that, we were displaying two additional column. First is customer ID. For this customer ID or for this customer, what is the total net price? And what all are the number of the sales orders? Means for this customer, how many sales order we have created, and for those sales order, what was the total net price? Like that we were displaying. But here is one issue is there. As you can see, why we have to create two additional column to display, and we are repeating the things again and again. Can't we do right at the end of the customer one line over here, and we can display the net under the net amount, we can display the total net amount, or we can create another column and we can display the count as well. How we can do this thing? We will use to achieve this thing. Like I want to show you the result. What we want to do, we have to display the net price, and below I want to display this total net price for this particular customer, and what is the total for this particular customer, and I want to display in separate line for all the sales order. Like that I want to display. You can see this data I have displayed like this. So for achieve this, I will use common table expression. So first we will discuss the syntax of the common table expression. So common table expression syntax, you can see it always start with, and after starting with we have to write. Let me reduce this, or let me clear out this console and close this. As of now, it is not needed. So we are writing here subqueries. You can see we can write the multiple subqueries. So after the with, we have to give the some common table expression name. This is nothing you can assume like it's a internal table only. It is getting the temporary internal table, we can say, which is getting the intermediate result. So the subquery result we will get in this common table expression. This is the internal table. In this we will get. So first, going further, we have to give some name of this common table expression. This should always start with plus symbol. This is the one main important thing. And after the plus symbol, you can give any name, but just subsequent number, it should not like that plus, and after that just we can't write the number. That is another thing. We have to give some name. It should not start with number, and it should be not more than 30 character. We can create common table expression, and after that we have something, we can give the alias, some name in the bracket. This is optional. If you want to give, you give. Otherwise, this is optional thing. And inside this we have is this internal table, is or intermediate table we can say, and is we have to write the select query over here. This select query result will be placed inside this temporary table or common table expression, we can say. And if you want to give some alias name, means some other name, suppose we are getting from the select query VBLN and some other name. On VBLN, as I want to get as a sales order, don't want to give alias name here. I can give those alias name here as well. I can give the column name, but the prerequisite there, number of column what we are specifying here, the number of column what we are getting from the select query, both should be similar. And this is the, after getting the multiple table expressions, I can get like that n number of table expression. First table expression I can use in subsequent queries. I got this table expression result, first table expression result I can use in this select query along with other database tables. I can use here, and if I am using third one, so I can use CTE1 and CTE2 in my third select query. Like that I can do. And inside the main query, after all these CTEs, we have to write one main query subsequently. And this main query I have to use at least one this intermediate table, and along with that if you want to use some other database table you can use. And this is again optional, and with is nothing like, it's just like we are writing select and select for creating loop, we can write the loop for with and with as well, but we don't need as of now. So this is also optional, this is also optional, and this name list also optional. Other thing, we have to write this main query. These all are the sub queries and these are the main queries. This is the syntax of this common table expression. Now we will use this syntax and we will achieve our requirement to display the total below the, for particular customer, what is the total net amount we will display. For doing that, let me go to my window expression example. Let me copy this code. Okay, because somewhat we need similar. So as I told you, we have to start with. So first word will be with, then we have to give some intermediate temporary table name. I used the wrong name, it's not internal table, it's an intermediate temporary table, we can say. Its name should start with plus, and we have to give the name. It should not start with number after plus. We have to give some name. In this case, we want to get one line for the aggregation result that I will get from this particular first intermediate table. So what I will do, aggregated result I will get in this one. So that is the reason I have given the name aggregated. Okay, AZZR I can give. In second, this is optional. If I want to give these names, I can give. I don't want to give any name as of now, and I have to use is after this. So this is, and I have to write sub query. So this subquery, first subquery I will write, and in this query I will get the aggregated result. This all things are not needed. I would have write freshly. So let me delete. This also not needed. These are again window expression. This is also not needed, and this where and into close we can't use in this one. Anyway, we are getting the result in intermediate table, so we don't need the into table. So let me shift a little bit here. We can use Alt Shift A. It will select vertically, and let me use tab. It moved little bit here, and again I can use Alt Shift A. Okay, so I have shifted. I used VBLN, customer. I have to group by, since I have to sum up the data, I have to use group by after this. So let me use group by. I don't want to group by VBLN. Obviously I want sum up the data. I want to group by Kunnar and comma, and obviously I don't want to group by with the net price. Also I don't want to group. I only group by with the Kunnar. That is my requirement actually. Okay, but what I will do with other fields? So I need this VBLN field because I have to combine these fields with the what I will gonna use, because I need the same number of columns. If you see in this result, let me do F9. If you see in the result, I want same number of column. These columns, these 4 column I want, but below this I want net price, but I want this SO column as well here. I have to display this blank as a blank entry. So instead of getting this VBLN, I will use here literal. So as I know, the literals are very useful. If you don't know about the literals, you can watch out my literal video. So what I will do, again what I have to use, I have to use cast operation, because again when I combine this data with the total amount, I have to use union and then I have to combine. For that, this type should be similar to this type. Let me use as of now blank. I will tell you why we have to do as of now blank as a SO, And net price also, anyway net price we are displaying as a summation, so we don't need the extra line. We will display this only, and we will write down some net amount. That's enough for us, and this is also enough. SO count. Okay, so we grouped by Kunnar, correct, and that is enough, I think so. Kunnar, and again this is also we can group by, because this is extra column. Okay, so this is the my first aggregated result. I got my first. This will give only one line, sum, which we are doing sum up. I have to write another select, which will give me another result. Means this all the lines. Let me copy these lines. Control C. But this time I don't want to do sum up. Again I have to use Alt Shift A. This is too much. Delete, delete, delete. Alt Shift A. Okay, I want to get, say this time I want to get VBLN, and here I want to get net VAR, means net amount I want to get. This is true, and let me do one thing. I want to give here net amount I want to get, and this count here I will get as a blank either. Oh, okay, I will get as a blank. I don't need this count here, because but still I need the column, and this group by is not needed here because we are not doing summation. What I have to do, this is the main query mine. I have used only one intermediate table. This is my main query. What I will do, I will combine this data using the union, and I will write another select query where I will gonna use this. I will gonna select from here. So what I will do, I will use select all. I'll select all from this aggregated table. I have to use entire this one. Control C, Control V, and select all from this aggregated table. The number is same, SO, customer ID, currency, net amount, SO count. Select, and I want to do union, and I want to do the select all from this table. Do I have to use some where condition? No, I don't need any where condition actually. And I want to combine this data with this data. That's it, I think so. This will be my main query. And at last, I have to use into table. This both the queries result into table @data IT underscore result. And if size of RC, let me use my template, control space. Okay. What is the issue if I am using union? It must be, a field must be specified in union. Okay, I have to specify this all the fields. Let me specify this. Select, instead of select, I can use like that SO. I want to get sales order, SO cust ID. Control C, cust ID. I want to get the currency, net amount, Control V, net amount, and SO count. So still I am getting error. So we are getting one error. This SO count and this count can't be mixed in this union statement. Let me do the separate, because as I told you from my union video, if you watched, the number of fields should be similar. First requirement. Second requirement, the type of those fields should be similar. Field name or some other, like I am getting here from literal, and here I am counting. But this type should be, this is character type, and I think this will return one number. So what I have to do, instead of using this one, I have to cast this value. So cast also I have explained last video, where I have explained my window expression. Control C, Control V. This I have to cast is number, or I can say integer, or int, or you can do control space also. The help will be there, but it will take time. Int 4 I can use, I think so. Int 4 I can use. Okay, so still we are getting error. Cannot be int 4. Int 1. Okay, it should be I. Let me control space. Let me get the what all are the type we can. Count will return always an integer value. I think so, because I can see this result I am getting the integer value. Or what I can do, instead of doing this, let me do 1. 1 is a SO count. That will solve the error. Anyway, it will return the integer value. I can convert, or I will display 111 for everyone. And for other values, I can convert also. In what value exactly I have to convert. For that I have to find out what is this function is returning. That also I can find out easily. I have to do F1. I have to do the documentation. What type it is returning. Same type I can use here. And second thing, what I am telling, I think now both are the similar. We are getting the result. Let me do cl underscore demo underscore output, control space. Today's system is very slow. I'm not getting output, and I can display. Control space, display. I will write down meanwhile. Control C, Control V, Shift F1. So I'm displaying this result, whatever I'm getting the result from this. Let me do Control F3, clear out the console. It's getting activated. It got stuck, is expected. I thought it will stuck. Let me wait for 5 minutes. Let me clear out the console. It got activated. Let me do Control F3 and F9. So I got the result. Let me go up. So in this you can see I'm getting all the sales order, but I'm not getting that additional entry. Okay, so how I will get to know this is the resultant one, and this is, and one more thing, this is the resultant one entry, or this is so for that what I have to do, after this from, then I have to use group by owner, or in this group by customer ID, sorry, Control C, Control V. This result whatever I am getting, I have to group by, order by, sorry, not group by, order by customer ID, Control F3. So it will order by the customer ID, and then I will get the result. And not only that, what I have to do, I have to somehow identify, I have to add one blank, so I can display this is the total and this is one. So one additional field I have to do, I can add is in front. Anyway, with blank SO I can find out, but I can use one another literal is a blank value. I can tell this is mark. I can use this as a marker, and same field I have to get here, because I can say this is total is mark, comma. So it will be visible which is total and which is, and I have to display here total as well, not only this, mark as well. Control C, Control V, Shift F1, Control F3. So we are combining a lot of concept over here, casting and union, order by, group by, everything. F9. So you can see now we can see the visual result. For example, there is blank customer. For that we are getting the total. It is displaying everywhere total. This is not required. It should display blank. Okay, I did in reverse. This should be here, Control C, Control X, and this should be Control V, and here we have to display a space. Control F3, clear out the console. Let me do F9. So you can see we got the result. For blank customers, what is the total number and how many number of sales orders? And for this customer number 1, what is the total number of sales order and what is the total amount? I have added the below this line. I did the same for this customer number 2 as well. So for customer number 2, how many entries are there? Okay, one more thing, I got something wrong over here. I have sorted by customer number. I think I have to sort it by along with customer number the mark as well. Okay, got it. Because this customer number and mark, it's whenever it is sorting, it's sorted correctly, but it is not considering this total should come after this one. So let me change my query, and along with this customer ID, I want to sort by this mark, because first the customer ID, then all the blank values, mark values, then I need the total. Like that I have to do. Control F3, clear out the console, and let me do F9. So now I am getting correct values. You can see all the sales order. This is 1, then total is 15, and this is the second sales order, and I got now correctly. So you can see 250 sales order, then third one is started, then what is the total? Like that we are displaying all the sales order correctly with first we individual data, then for this customer what is the total amount and how many number of sales order. Then just one thing I missed, how we can see that as I told you the cost. So if you want to see what will be the return value of the cost, so I just want to explain that also. So instead of 1, I want to display space, as I told you, is int 4. I think it will return integer value, I know, but exactly which integer it will return, for that what I have to do, I have to go to the SAP documentation. What you have to do, you have to select this one, you have to do F1, and you can open this parallelly, and cast ABAP SQL expression, you have to select this one. No, 1 second, you should search with not cast, you have to search with count what it will return. I have to see, so I have to search this count function, what will return. I can search with count and count ABAP SQL aggregation, and this is the count which we are using. So let me go to that one, and you can see somewhere here we can see what it is returning, this SQL expression with count. Oh, go back, I count this one, no? Count. So this SQL expression, null values if there is no value, otherwise it is return integer correctly. But then why I am getting error? I should not get error. Okay, got it. So we can't convert the integer some character value to integer value. That is the issue. If I would have done 1 or 0, then error gone. That is the cast. If you see that table, as I told you in my last video as well, you have to do F1 again, and this if you open up this one, so cast ABAP SQL, so you can see you can't convert this particular character value. Where is the character? I can see the character value to the integer value. Can't convert this character value to the integer values. There is this over, but you can convert character to character to S string, but you can't convert from character to integer value. So that is the reason that cast operation was not working. What to do? Why we have to do like this? We can directly use 1. Anyway, we have to display 1 or 0. You can use, but for each line per sales order, that is the reason I am doing 1. So like that we got the result. I think I have explained most of the thing. Let me go through the theory part. Let me copy this one, Control X. These are the theory I have written. It might be useful for us. Let me Control V. So first statement, what it is telling, a common table expression create a temporary tabular result. As I told you, this is the temporary tabular result we are creating. result set which can be accessed during the execution of with statement. So whenever this with statement is executed, this temporary table will be filled and we can use. So when this statement run, this entire statement run on the database. That's a very important thing. It's not a separate statement. This is one select query which will be running, which will run this COBOL table expression, which will run on the database, and which only the common table expression can therefore thought of as a we can think like this is a temporary view. Therefore we can thought this is a temporary view which only exists duration of the database access. Whenever we are doing the database access, then only this temporary view we can see like it is a temporary view which whenever we are accessing the database, that time it will create it and we have used. This is the first point. CTE create tabular result set via subquery. This I told you. This is the tabular result set it is creating, which can be used in subsequent queries. We have used this tabular result in my subsequent. This is the main query, I can say. As I told you in my, as I showed you, this is, I can use multiple subqueries, but in this case I have used one subquery and one main query. I can use multiple subqueries also, based on our requirement. In this case I don't need, I have used one main query. This is the main one query and this is the one subquery I have used. When subtotal, so which can be used subsequent queries. So this subquery I have used, either I can use in another subquery or I have used here in main query. But one more thing we have to make sure, in main query at least one intermediate table we have to use. Like that I have used the aggregation, we can use another thing as well. And name should start with plus, that is I also explain optional name list. This is optional. So one thing I just want to explain one more, I can give these names here as well. Suppose I have given is like this, I would have selected, I can't do in this case, but I can do like this. I have selected mark, comma, SO, comma, and cust ID, cust underscore ID, comma, let me copy out this one, Control C, Control V, comma, net amount, Control C, Control V, until unless the number of column will not match it, it will give us the syntax error. So I think I will not get now. Okay, what is the issue? Okay, now it is okay. So I can, in this case what I can do, I can, this is not required, this alias name not required now. I can select like this also, and this alias name whatever I am giving I can give here as well. So same data will be copied here, and that is the reason this is optional. It is not required. We can write these values in here as well. So this is the another thing. This is the name list, we can say this is optional. This is just if we want to match this query and this query naming names, that is the, because we have used union, so that we can do like that. So these are the some of the points whenever we are using CTE. Let me show you quickly some of the other example as well, which is given in SAP standard or SAP standard documentation. So I have copied somewhere. So you can see one of the example, Control C, Control Shift A, Control V. So let me open it. So in this program, this is the one of the again demo program. I have modified so we can understand easily. Let me clear out the console. So in this one, as we use, as you can see, we have one class, local class, demo class. Inside that we have method, static main method, which we are calling in start of selection. This we usually do. Means SAP usually do in the demo program. I also follow. So in this case, what they are doing, they also have used instead of one intermediate table, they have used two intermediate table. In the first select, this is same syntax they are using. This is nothing similar. This is first subquery, this is second subquery, and here they have combined those both queries using cross join. Again, most important concept. Cross join also have explained in one of my video. You can watch out that video also. That link is also in the description. In cards also you can see. So you can see what they are doing. They are getting the data from the flight table, carrier name, and they are joining this flight table, SPFLI table with the SCAR table to get the carrier name. So you can see if I open SCAR table, we usually use the SCAR table for our demo purpose also. and SAP also use SPLI FLI model. So let me do F8. In the SCAR table, you can see we can find for this carrier ID what is the carrier name. So that is the reason they have combined the SPFLI and SCAR table. From SCAR table, they are getting the carrier name and other detail they are get. If I do F2, here also I can see all the things, but I think system is bit slow. It's not displaying quickly. So we can get the connection ID, CT from and CT2 from the SPFLI table. Let me open it now, why to worry, and let me do F8. So other detail, carrier ID, other detail we are getting from the SPFLI table. Like that, we can display the they are joining this inner join they are doing, and they are getting this carrier name from this one and other detail they are getting. This is the first subquery. This is carrier ID. Either they can pass from selection screen or they get from selection screen, whatever they want. I have. And in the SAP standard example, they have passed from the they are getting as an input from the user input, but here I have used a constant for the explaining purpose. So in the second subset of query, what they are doing, they are just using this table, this connection table, whatever this intermediate table which we got, they are counting the number of entries on this particular table. How many entries? That's just what result they got. They want to count how many entries we have got for this Lufthansa flight, that they are counting, and they are putting in this another intermediate table, that is single line, single column table, again with the count of that particular entries, how many entries. And in the final statement, what they are doing, they are using cross join. The cross join, how many result we are get, as I explained in my cross join video, that will be if the A table is having 5 entries and B table is having 4 entries, 5 into 4, 20 entries we will get. So in this 20 entries, you can see the 20 entries we will get. But in this case, this subquery is having 1, and this subquery, whatever the data. So whatever the entries we will get, that will repeat over here. We'll getting all the data from this count plus table, from this table, cross joining this table and order by this one. So whatever both the table column will be displayed in the output. Let me do F9 and see the result. Not F8, I want to do F9. So you can see, so since we got the 5 line of entries, for both entries got combined, so 4 column from this table and 1 column from this table, the cross join, and total number of entries 5 into 1, it got 1 into 5 into this one entry. So total number of entries also will get 5, and the count also it is 5, it is displaying in the another column. We have declared this IT result explicitly. You can see this carrier name, con ID, CT from and CT2. That is the reason it got all the 5 column. That is the reason I have used select all from this both the tables, and it will be putting into corresponding fields of this table. I have used into corresponding field. So it is putting based on the from which table which entries, which field is coming, which column is coming, it is putting in the result, and we are displaying in the result. So this is the one of the example from the SAP standard. I hope I was able to explain common table expression to this video. Please like this video, subscribe this channel, and share these videos with others as well. And whatever you are feeling about these videos, write it down in comment section so I can see. I'm open to feedback. Whatever you are giving the feedback, based on that I can improve myself as well. With that, thank you and happy learning. I hope I was able to explain common table expression to this video. Please like this video, subscribe this channel, and share these videos with others as well. And whatever you are feeling about these videos, write it down in comment section so I can see. I'm open to feedback. Whatever you are giving the feedback, based on that I can improve myself as well. With that, thank you and happy learning.